Hello everyone, I'm the Hokage of Gaming and I welcome you to what is the final day / episode of Journey of a Content Creator, at least this arc of Journey of a Content Creator. This was the stock market arc. For those that have been paying attention from the beginning, you know that it was a rough ride. I doubted myself. I recorded my doubts. If you guys can go back and look and like in the goal videos, but through the Lord Jesus Christ, we have made it. We made it to 10,000. We didn't quite exactly reach the goal of making 2,000 to 3,000. We technically did, since we started at 7, and 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and now we're at 10. But I'll keep you all posted after this update. As you can see here, like the lowest that we went was like 7,000. As you can see, 7,000 to 8,000, and then 9 here. And this is all really fueled by the AMC hype, AMC short squeeze. As you can see, it's trended down a bit, but I'm also considering buying the dip. This is being recorded on a Saturday. But yes, I'm also going to be doing a retrospective after this video is posted. And I'll add on the tips for stock picking portion after this. But yeah, this is pretty much where it is going to be. I'll even show you guys that, as you can see, it is June 5th. And as I stated back in the first video, the deadline for this challenge is June 5th, 2021. And the goal, as stated before, is to make $2,000 to $3,000 in stocks in order to get a gaming PC. June 5th is the deadline, and it is currently the deadline as I'm recording this, but I'm satisfied. It's taught me a lot that if I stay true and try and work hard to my goals, that I'll eventually achieve them somehow, because I sort of did what I intended to do. I grew the channel, breathed new life into the channel, and I made some money with the Lord's help, because I was really beating myself up, and I really shouldn't have, considering what the market is exactly. You're not going to always make money, and you're playing the game with so many other people that you're pretty much screwed, especially if those people have influence, like the hedge funds that are shorting AMC. It's really, you're playing against the world essentially, and I suppose I should give myself some sort of credit. But we made it essentially, so I'm satisfied. But I won't keep you guys too much longer. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share it. But as I said, this is only one part of my content creation journey. I'm going to be streaming a lot of games over the summer, so for those that may not be interested in that, I'm sorry, but that's the direction I'm going to be shifting in. I'm still going to be creating finance content, but it just won't be as successive as this was here. But yeah, thank you for all the support, and I'll see you in the next part of this video. How to begin investing in the stock market. This is not a very structured video per se. This was just some thoughts that I had wanted to put down as I've got video. People had asked me, how do you pick stocks? And they're like, well, this isn't the picking stocks video per se. This is just some groundwork that I feel people need to know when they're about to invest. So my first point is figure out what you want. If you want to start investing in the stock market, I suggest you figure out what it is you want. So when I first started, I had wanted, as the sentence says, I'd wanted passive income, in the sense that I found out that companies paid dividends. And for those that don't know, a dividend is just a portion of a company's earning that you get paid for holding the stock, for supporting them. And when I had heard that, it sounded absolutely crazy to me, because Apple paying me, because I have an Android, so it's like, it's a sort of something like, well, think of some product that you use. I know I have a lot of people with iPhones that watch me. I know a lot of people, what's another thing, like Levi jeans, Nikes. Let me think of something else. I can't really think of much else, but there's lots of things. If you just look, Nintendo, for example, Sony, I think Sony pays a dividend. Don't quote me on that. But I was big into Nintendo, and Nintendo pays a dividend. So, I wanted to get in on that. Do you want to create a secondary source of income? And as you can see right there, do you just want to own companies of your haters and make profit off them? I know that that's probably a point some of you can get behind. Think about it. The people that you may not like, you can still, you can still get a little bit of edge on them. And in my case, I'd wanted more money in general, as my family was not in the bestest of financial situations, along with creating passive income, just so that, because you hear about people making money in the stock market. So I just figured, put some money in and try and make some money back. I don't know how much I would have made, but I made a sizable amount, as you all know. Research what it is exactly, research what it is you want. And people always ask me, oh, Aaron, I'm gonna use Robinhood because you use Robinhood, this and the next. And I always tell them don't, because I can tell you up front that Robinhood is not the bestest broker. It's good for beginners, and I suppose in that respect I shouldn't deter them from it, but you should not just follow me. Never ever just follow me. So as you can see, I created a watch list of companies and I just monitored them on Google, and I had what's it called, the notepad on Windows. I just wrote down, I would start at like 9:30 when the market opened, I believe. I would write down the open, I would write down the price again at 12, and then I write down the price at close, which I think is like 4. So yeah, I would just monitor it like that. And as you can see, some basics that I used were food, shelter, clothing, for example, Papa John's, Walmart, Home Depot, things like that. Because those businesses in general, like let's say all these businesses go away, there is going to be a replacement. There'll be a Walmart replacement, a Home Depot replacement. They all have their alternatives, and you should keep that in mind. As you can see, those are the 3 basic needs for humans. And I also suggest picking companies of stocks that you love. And my first stock was Activision, just because while I never played Overwatch before I had bought the stock, I had seen that Activision as a whole, like the Overwatch, Call of Duty, they're all doing numbers. And I wasn't necessarily a big fan because I didn't play, but I could absolutely respect what they were doing with the community, with the Overwatch esports. And Call of Duty, for those that don't know, is super big, and it has a people consistently buy into Call of Duty, even though they always say that they're disappointed, they still continue to buy it. And it just seems like a no-brainer to me. If the people are going to willingly purchase something that they don't like, clearly there is money being made, so I should probably try and hop on it. After you've tracked the stocks, I would suggest looking around for a broker. As I said earlier, you don't have to use Robinhood. I could perfectly understand why you would consider using it, but I would also recommend that after you get your feet wet, try and transfer to another broker such as Webull, TD Ameritrade, and I would specifically recommend Fidelity, as they are the most creditable in their payment order flow method. So as you can see here, I'm just talking about the brokerage. Webull is a great alternative to Robinhood in the sense that it provides a lot more information for free. I don't believe Webull has a paid subscription service like Robinhood, how Robinhood has Robinhood Gold. But in general, it looks better. It's not as you can see, it doesn't have as many outages from what I know. And it overall looks, as I said, it looks better, operates better. And for those that don't always want to be at their computer desk, because I also want this account, an M1 Finance account, where you just pick the stocks that you want and you will automatically be invested with them. It would just invest and you won't have to think about it. You pick what you want, and every now and again you would update and change around. I forgot what they call it, but it's I think it's pie, something like that, where you just pick a group of stocks and it's like a pie graph, and it shows you how big and how little of a position you hold into it, and I would just invest in that. I personally feel as though that's one of the best things that you could do, because as I said, you don't have to think about it. As long as you pick what you want, you can just invest and have that not be a headache for you. So how to pick stocks. As I said, this isn't going to be the super in-depth guide, but I still felt as though I should include it. After you pick your brokerage and done some preliminary research, it's time to buy your first stock. As you can see, you should never ever purchase a stock on word of mouth alone, and always only use money you are willing to lose, and always do your own due diligence, which is research. I say this because I know people watch me. I've had people even ask me, oh, Aaron, should I buy gold and silver? I don't know. First of all, I don't know how you're going to buy gold and silver. Second of all, you definitely shouldn't be taking financial advice from me. I have done all my own research to get me to this point, and I personally don't feel as though I'm qualified to give advice. Even I'm not even certified, so you definitely shouldn't be asking me. And don't just, if you see thumbnails on YouTube, oh, this stock is about to 5x, 10x, 15x, you can watch it, but they most, do your own research. As you can see, I say use multiple sources of information. A Google search and a YouTube search are great. You should read your articles, and even though some companies like the Motley Fool are paid off by companies, that doesn't mean that you can't read them. You should always, as I say, do your own due diligence. You should pick it like a fine-tooth comb. Pick it with a fine-tooth comb, and think on it, mull over it, and really analyze it. How much sense does it actually make? And always take it with a grain of salt and come to your own conclusion. And this part is the mindset and mentality, and I would say this is arguably the most important point, as throughout my Journey of a Content Creator series, this is what went on after the cameras were done recording. You need to come into with investing with a proper mindset and mentality. I have been invested in the stock market since 2018, and it's an ongoing something. You never really stop with your mindset. You always have to improve and hone it. I can't remember the word that it is for like when you're pressure making diamonds, but that process. And when you start to make money, as I say here, money accentuates what is already present in a person. For example, people think that money corrupts you, and I personally do. Like, if you submit to money, as I say, it's the love of money that makes people evil, in quotation, makes them greedy. If you submit to money, then of course you will become evil and greedy. But if you are already a genuine person, and you can't forget that genuineness, how you were before the money, because that how you were before is how you made the money. Sure, you may have made different choices, thought differently, but you have to remember where you were, where you're at, and where you will go. And you will most likely not get rich quick, because the $9,000 odd dollars that I have did not come easy. They absolutely did not come easy, because there were even times, some of you may know if you had watched the goals for, I think, May or April, whichever goals that was, I was very upset when my account hit like, excuse me, 7,000, because the goal of this journey is to make $2,000 to $3,000, and I was down like 1,000. And it's not off of any of my incompetency, it's just the way of the market at that point. Thank the Lord that I was put onto AMC, and hopefully AMC can sustain the account, and we can shoot past 2,000 to 3,000, and hopefully we can hit the $500,000 floor or $100,000 floor, whichever you prefer. Hopefully we can get to that point. And as you can see, I have bolded and underlined, be patient and trust the process. This is the most important part. If you read any personal finance books, creditable ones, you will see trusting the process, believing in the mission, having some sort of faith. I have my faith in Jesus Christ. I don't know what you would have your faith in, but that mission will supersede all that is needed. Doors will be opened if you believe in that mission, whatever that mission is for you. So mindset, continue. Where is it? Here. How much are you willing / can afford? This goes back to the money that you put in. More often than not, you will have to go in with the mindset, if you lose your money, it will not negatively affect you, which is easier said than done. It's like going into a casino, because despite what some people may say about the stock market not being a casino, at this rate with how things are being highlighted, it might as well be a casino. When you go into a casino, the money that you have on you is not your money. It is the house's money. You should never really go into a casino to make money. It's just that the stock market has an air about it that it is a very analytical place and very intelligent, which is not to say that you won't get places with analyzing and intelligence, but the hedge funds, the quote unquote smart people, aren't doing the bestest job of highlighting that. But anyway, when you go into a casino, the money you have is not yours. It is only when you then leave the casino that the money is yours. And I'm not speaking from a gambling perspective, because that is not something I indulge in, but that's just logical. You going into the stock market, you do not know if you will make money. You can try and reduce your risk of losing money by investing in ETFs, mutual funds, etc. But for me, a person who does like speculative trading, I invest in singular companies, don't really have that many ETFs. I am at risk, and I have to understand that. And if you all are going to be investing in singular companies and, you know, then diversifying out, you also have to keep that in mind, that the money you have is not yours until you make a great return and then sell. And as I have at the bottom, for every gain, remember your losses. So here we have some wise words from Ben Graham, as you can see, the father of value investing. And ironically enough, it sounds like Graham Stephan, but that's another take. Markets fluctuate, stay the course. Individuals who cannot master their emotions are ill-suited to profit from the investment process. That speaks to me because, as I've stated earlier, I was in my feelings. I was very emotional. And while I didn't make any emotional trades, it was just out of the, as I said, it was in real life that I was emotional. And as you can see at the bottom, keep emotions in check. This is by Charlie Munger, as you can see, vice chairman for Berkshire Hathaway. A lot of people with high IQs are terrible investors because they've got terrible temperaments. You need to keep raw, irrational emotions under control. That is absolutely important, because you could end up then doing something rather foolish. For example, there was a man in China who jumped into a furnace because he lost a lot of his money. And this is from Warren Buffett. The stock market is a wonderfully efficient mechanism for transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. And this is where I say, be patient and trust the process. You will not, more often than not, you will not become rich off of one trade. You won't even make a lot of money off of one trade. It takes, I don't quite recall. I believe it's the S&P. Don't quote me on this, but you will not make a 15% return just trading stocks. I don't even know if I'm properly explaining this, but long story short, you're not going to beat the S&P. As Warren Buffett says, you're most likely not going to beat the S&P, but you researching and picking properly can then lead you to be beating the return of the S&P, which I think is 10 to 15%. So you have to really work for it and be patient and trust the process. As I said, find your faith, because with AMC, as I showed you guys, I made a ridiculous amount of return in such a short period of time, in like about a week or less. And you usually don't see that. I think, like, okay, bank interest, you get like a penny, which I don't even know how many 0.00 whatever. You get a penny or less. 15% is absolutely ridiculous to be getting in a day. And if you get more than 15%, you know, you're crazy. I'm not that you're crazy, but you know what I mean? You're very fortunate. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And as you can see, I'll be doing an in-depth sort of video specifically on picking stocks later down the line. But yeah, guys, I think this is going to be the last video before June 5th, or maybe I'll upload it sometime around June 5th. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode or video, whichever comes first.